Welcome to episode 28 of AFC Fylde Still We Rise. It's Football Manager 2020. I'm Charlie, and you join us during pre-season ahead of the 2021 campaign. Fylde will be competing in Sky Bet League 2 for the first time in the Football League, and we've been enjoying our pre-season. So far, we've beaten Kidderminster, then we beat Squiresgate, drew with York, and put 5 past AFC Blackpool. Bit of a disappointment last time out. We lost 1-0 to Burton, but as you can see by the match stats, we were actually much the better side. So there was a lot of positives to come out of this one. The only issue being that we did suffer a couple of injuries. Andy Taylor, who's probably not going to be our starting left back this season, he picked up a knock, as did Jordan Williams, who is very much our first choice left winger. So that's taken them out of the game. Today we are playing Rochdale. Rochdale are a League 1 side. Last season they finished 5th. Playoff campaign. So I'm guessing that they lost in the playoffs. They did indeed. Semi-final, they went down to Oxford. Oh, bad luck. So they are our opponents today. The tactics and the approach. This is probably going to be our starting 11 for the season. Devon Green drafted in on the left and Jack Muldoon on the right. Danny Philliskirk is probably the other option on the right wing, but we really don't have anybody for the left. So hopefully, young Devon Green, our new signing this summer, won't have any problems. In terms of the actual league, there's been a couple of items come out in the last couple of days. Promotion odds, yeah, we don't really feature. We're actually 30-1 to go up, 4-1 to go down, so that's quite damning. We're actually predicted 19th, which isn't too bad, you know. There are 5 teams below us that they think will go down before. So, including, by the way, Barnet, who came up with us. So perhaps we are best suited not to go down. In terms of top goal scorer, they're looking at Danny Rose at Mansfield, Adam Rooney, Salford, Lavery, Humphreys, Hope and Bowman. Last season's top scorer was George Miller, who is at Wickham, and now is he is on loan from Barnsley, that's why. In terms of the top player odds, as you would expect, Bolton feature heavily. Top 2, Ronan Darcy and Josh Emmanuel. Then you've got Bruno Andrade at Salford. In fact, 2 Salford players on the list. Actually, Eastham also. They are joined by CJ Hamilton and Paul Kalambayi. Let's go with that. However, let's get back to the meat and potatoes of the action. Is that a phrase? It is now. As we head to Mill Farm to welcome Rochdale. Rochdale are managed these days by Brian Barry Murphy. I can honestly say I've never heard of him. As you would expect in pre-season, you don't really get the pre-match press conferences for me to find out a bit about Brian. I'm sure he's a good chap. Well, he led them to 5th last year, so can't be too bad. They appear to play a very similar shape to ourselves, although as the comment notes down at the bottom of the screen, Matty Costello is quite the miss for ourselves. I won't be too worried if we end the game having played well again but narrowly lost, because pre-season is not for results. Pre-season is about getting everybody fit, getting into the shape, and especially integrating new players. I say that although there is only one new player in our starting team, that being Devon Green on the left wing. So hopefully the consistency pays dividends for us. As you can see, we've taken the first shot on goal and the second. See, this is what tends to happen. We race into these sort of leads in terms of statistics, but we're not getting the goals, or certainly we didn't get the goals against Burton when we really did need them. Horton, here's Devon Green. Let's see what he can do from the left. Back to Duxbury, the cross, and there's the goal. The opener by Jack Muldoon. Really good goal. Devon Green involved there. And then played in to Duxbury. So Duxbury was on loan last year at Chorley. Mixing up my local rivals there. So Duxbury on loan at Chorley has returned. I sort of forgot he was coming back, if we're honest, and thought that we had to recruit another left back. So I sent our scouts to watch all manner of player, including Jamie Reckford. However, Scott's presence has prompted me not to need another left back. And here we go with the passing by Rochdale. Get a foot in. And we're countering quickly here, but no, that's a good save by the Rochdale goalkeeper. As long as we keep the pressure up here, this is the sort of situation that we enjoy. Corner ball. Now that's always good for us. But this time it's going to be recycled by Crowsdale. Proctor, is somebody going to have a shot? They are, but Kyle Jameson can't get his effort on target. We're seeing Mark Wilson for Rochdale. Is that Mark Wilson that used to be in the Premier League? Or Scottish Premier? Possibly. Joe Cardle there has got the booking early on for Rochdale. Another corner. And Crowsdale with a good effort. Saved by Wade, in the Rochdale goal. But here we are. This is really promising. This. And there is Jamie Proctor. A low finished Muldoon with the assist. This is beyond my wildest expectations, if I'm honest. I don't think Rochdale are playing a weak side. But Proctor just holds off two defenders there. Gets to the ball first. And that leaves Wade with a little opportunity to get his hand on the ball. Duxbury with a booking. We do tend to have issues with our defenders getting books. Luke Burke is often the recipient of a yellow card, and neither Whitmore nor Jameson, or even Neil Byrne, our club captain, are strangers to a yellow ticket, if we're honest. They tend to, because of the playing style where we are an attacking team, that does tend to leave us a little bit exposed at the back. And it's a worry for the season to come. Oh, great run by Muldoon there. He's beaten every single man on the Rochdale left. It's a shot on goal. Half an hour in, and this is going strangely well. A great goal by Tom Walker. Magic stuff indeed. A strike of his own making. Picks up the ball here on halfway. Runs down. He's going to run all the way to the penalty box and then unleash a strike. Oh, top bins. Wade there, beaten at his near post. Walker busts out the cartwheel. Fair play to him. Absolutely. Why not? And that has put us 3-0 in front in a pre-season friendly against a team that finished 5th in League One last year. Have I sold our abilities short? Or were Burton just really good? Burton, of course, managed by Nigel Clough in this game. He is one of the people that was actually, I believe, linked to the Bolton job. I believe he was. But there were a few, obviously, linked to the Bolton job, and there was a few linked then subsequently to the Barrow job, vacated by Ian Effort, which has now been taken up. By the time you hear this, it'll be like a week has gone past. But it was, of course, David Dunn, who I believe was a coach at Blackpool or Blackburn, one of the two. Good effort by Carl Jameson. If you haven't checked out our corner tutorial, my corner tutorial, on the channel, do indeed, because that sort of goes in depth about how we managed to score 27 corners last season, and in fact we scored 60 set pieces. Very proud of our abilities here. Now, I'm actually going to put Lewis Montrose on because I don't care if he gets injured. I know that sounds harsh, but it doesn't really bother me that much. We're going to bring on Vieira and Craigan. Those three, well, Vieira and Craigan, are players that really could earn themselves a place in our team, because they're both new signings effectively. Well, Craigan was on loan at Arbroath last season, and Vieira newly signed, so we're sort of finding exactly where his best position is on the pitch. Young Romario Vieira, an ex-Leeds player, didn't really get the chance at Elland Road, if we're honest, but spent a year out of the game. His stats are okay. I've managed him before in another save featuring Fylde, and he never did too badly. So we're going to trust him. However, we are not going to trust our defence. Just letting the Rochdale striker there waltz in unmarked. It's never what you want. We do tend to... Jay Lynch has come on for Rochdale. Jay Lynch, of course, formerly of AFC Fylde. Lynch was actually goalkeeper of the year in the National League. I think it was 18-19. It's to struggle to get your years right when they're different between the game and real life, because we are, of course, a season ahead now. We have started 2021, and of course in real life we're only just finishing off 1920. Now, I'm never going to go in from that position. Rochdale have made a lot of substitutions. I haven't made so many, simply because I want this cohesion to continue. The longer they can stay on the pitch winning 3-0, I think that's quite a positive step psychologically. Let's see if Devan Green just heads over there. I think he's a danger, especially at this level. I think Scunthorpe, League One, might have been a step too far for him, but if he can find his footing here at AFC Fylde, I think he's in with a good shot of getting some minutes, especially if the likes of Jordan Williams are going to pick up injuries. We're now on 78 minutes, so just going to make a couple of very simple changes. Nothing to upset the rhythm of the team. And in fact, let's bring on Danny Philliskirk for Jack Muldoon. So we will be saying goodbye to Lewis Montrose. You may have noticed him come on earlier. His contract is due to end on the 31st of July, and I'm not renewing it. He's just too injury prone. Very good player, especially at National League level. I personally think he's one of the better players in the league. However, he doesn't show it on the pitch enough because he's injured. I've seen him more in the stands than I have on the pitch in the last few years, and it's just disappointing. It's really frustrating because when he's there, he's a fantastic player, despite their picking up a booking. But he just doesn't get the opportunity to show it. It's sometimes I've seen him play against teams, and it's like man against boys. It really is. But he's just, when he's injured, the team struggles without him. And it's accommodating him when he comes back in, because the likes of Ryan Crowsdale's positions move, and that's sort of upsets how everything is settled. But here we are, and that is the final whistle. Tom Wilding of the Kirkham Football Paper, good friend of mine, he expected a close game with most likely winners being Rochdale. I think we all did, really. I'm not going to hold that against Tom, to be honest, because I think we all expected Rochdale to turn us over here. I should say as well, that's just reminded me, there did seem to be a lot of international jobs appear over the last few days. The European Championships have just ended, so I'm going to assume that the England manager is whoever was at Newcastle. Who was at Newcastle? Steve Bruce? Oh, don't say Steve Bruce is the England manager. Oh no, that's bad, isn't it? History, yeah, it is. Steve Bruce, where is Steve Bruce now? Don't do it. Don't be England manager, Brucey. I mean, I love him. I think he's hilarious. I think he's a top bloke. But you are not England manager material, are you, Steve? We know, you know that. I know that. So let's not ruin things by having taken the England job. This is worse than Big Sam getting it, isn't it? Yeah, there he is, Steve Bruce, manager of England. Oh man, what were we thinking? However, that does mean the Newcastle job's available. I wonder if they'll be interested. So other international jobs: Colombia, Ecuador, France, Ukraine and Russia. I've got a feeling I'm not going to be in the running for any of them. Well, such is life. Congratulations to Steve Bruce, by the way. Very proud of you there, Brucey. I hope people have seen the video of him having a bit of a joke with Kevin De Bruyne the other day. It's about probably 2 weeks ago now by the time this comes out. But yeah, it's that sort of thing that just makes me like people. They can have a bit of a laugh. However, that does not make an England manager. Otherwise, you know, Mike Bassett would have done a lot better. We didn't do too bad. Right, we've gone a bit off track here, as is our wont. So the plan is for me to play the last friendly against Peterborough on my own time, and then we're going to feature Morecambe, which will be episode 29. Episode 30 will be Bolton Wanderers. That is going to be a big one. And then after that, we will see where we are in terms of YouTube games. Thank you for joining me in that unexpected triumph over Rochdale. That sort of puts the Burton result into context. And I will see you for episode 29 when we begin AFC Fylde's first season in the Football League in Sky Bet League 2 at the Globe Arena when we play Morecambe.